Morning to the rest of the world. I will say, Wick, you are out of control with this, kind of, hair color changing. I don't know, like, how to describe, like, chat colorness. Like, what, like, face paint you're wearing for a given day? As I am further being attempted to be gaslighted by the various people. But my impending insanity aside, we are back in control, and I'm expecting this DLC to be shorter than the Alan Wake DLC, so I think we can get the game done in the two 2 hours and 20 minutes, 3 hours and 20 minutes I have before I need to go to bed. And I'm curious to see what is going on here. And good morning, Decoy. But on the history of the oldest house has revealed much to me during my months in the Foundation, but many questions remain. Primarily, the tree etchings bewilder me. What is their significance? If the house has changed shape over its lifetime, as I've theorized, then was a tree its first form? I sent a team to the Schwarzman building in search of pre-settlement accounts of Manhattan Island. From those, I discovered a single relevant line, and there I found a tree not known to me, the devil twisted within its bark. That line, taken with the fact that certain American cultures believe that some trees would offer wisdom and guidance, is indeed interesting. However, it is hardly firm evidence, and though I am now bound to the oldest house, I remain a man of science. Of course, there are numerous ancient beliefs regarding trees: Yggdrasil, the tree of knowledge, Yax Imikche. Some cultures offered blood sacrifices to trees, while others claimed trees endowed chosen individuals with inhuman powers. Do New York City's many murderers act as sacrifice for the oldest house? Does the house have a chosen champion? Is it me? Well, we know it is the director. I guess it's either nail polish because I'm writing, or lipstick because I'm talking. I didn't know you wore neon blue lipstick there, Wick. Alright, that made me uncomfortable. Failed jokes aside, we continue on. So, we are finding notes from the actual foundation of the Bureau. So, Theodore Ashe is the son of Director Ashe, who is the predecessor of Northmore. And actually, I just realized we can figure out who Theodore Ashe is, I think. I've been going through my library researching pyramids and triangles. If that shape does relate to the board as Northmore says, then perhaps our predecessors in the occult can offer some insight through their geometric knowledge. In esotericism, the triangle is closely associated with the Holy Trinity and other three-part concepts: past, present, future, mind, body, spirit. Interesting, the term board also implies multiple parts. Upright triangles in Judeo-Christian imagery indicate ascent into the rational divine realm. Inverted, it signifies a descent into the corporeal human. Naturally, the ascent is masculine and the fall is feminine, Adam and Eve. That is just a bit of old world patriarchy. It's 1964 now, and we're well past that silliness. Considering the above, what does the inverted triangle tell us about the board? They're clearly not corporeal or human. Perhaps they wish to be, or they once were. The likeliest answer is simply that theological imagery cannot help us define alien entities, but still, the pyramid seems significant. Shapes have power, and the board clearly, and clearly so does the board. I actually want to see this now. We're going to take a quick jaunt back up to the Central Executive via the boy we have here. bam. So what we're going to look at is the room where Emily is that has all of the previous directors inside. And I want to see who Director Ash was. So that is Trench. That's Vladimir Lenin. That's a large man. Is that Northmore? Or is that Northmore? I choose my outfit. We get this one by basically completing the luck mini quest. I like the idea that she's just going around in like a pimp outfit as she has become the director of these various goblins. But I'm gonna guess that might be Theodore Ash, or Theodore Ash's father, who was the predecessor to Director Northmore. We can verify? They're talking about the slideshow. Trench is dead, along with Salvador. Because I think there was an image of the... Oh, wow, we have large-scale HRAs now. That's respected Irishman outfit. Oh! We actually redecorated now. Wait, what's this? Oh, this is Pierce. Purple would be pimp. Is this Irishman? I guess since it is inspired by luck, it would make sense. Chucky from Boardwalk Empire, is that you? Yeah. Does she literally have a piece of the mold in her office, or is that Blackrock? No. I mean, she does have a piece of the mold in the glass bottle, but that is Blackrock. And, HRA is there. That's actually really cool. I wish I thought to look in her office afterwards, but that kind of does defeat my goal of coming back over here, though. The government will pay for it. Is there anything in the hotline? No, that's still the same as always. I really wish I had the heart to continue Boardwalk Empire, because the story just started making me very mad because of the lack of communicative ability between Nucky and Irish Lady, and like how that's going to spell both of their downfalls due to just like shared incompetence and like Bree. Is it V? Worth a watch, but probably not right now. I mean, I kind of do want to at least take a look.
Alright.
Oh, it's a 6-minute video. Yeah, no. Though I do see where you're coming from, where when I'm scrubbing through here, there's just a guy in a yellow suit, which is terrifying. Alright, because I do not wish to fight various hiss-infected soldiers here. The government contractors already at work. Ignore the fact that the oldest house, is a sentient entity that instantly repairs any damage done onto it. But these are the outfits we have available. This is the one from the nightmare that we had. That was one of the dreams related to us by Dylan. That was the second, the final segment of the game. This is after we discovered the P7, P6 archive, where we learned that we were Prime Candidate 7. This is what we got for beating the game. I like how kind of sharp her outfit is here, but I hate her hair done up. And then we have the regular outfit. But we return to Irish activities. So we need to be at the warehouse now. Basically what we learned is Theodore Ashe was the person who discovered, or was part of the team that discovered, the oldest house, and it basically happened a week after his father died, and Northmore was appointed the director during that time, and during the investigations of the oldest house, eventually we...
Is this a Bureau ID badge? Looks so old. Hope will definitely want to see this.
I was just in the executive offices. But we have
Weird place to leave an ID card, but okay.
Okay, now I'm actually beginning to get worried. But Northmore was the director preceding Trench, who basically was so obsessed with paranatural abilities and power that he just became like...
28 days now.
I don't know.
Inside what we're calling the oldest house. Northmore insists on the name. I'm too tired to ask why. I'm not sleeping well. Per orders, me and my research team have established a permanent examination lab in the Foundation. I basically live down here now, like the obedient head of research father raised me to be. I spend my days investigating that odd pillar when Northmore found the handgun. The work was half-hearted at first, I admit. But then I discovered numerous non-Aristotelian energy channels converging at its base. Ley lines, dragon roads, Palagilinian, call them what you want. But this pillar is the crossroads. I started building something. Equal parts talisman and technology. An array that can impose order on the ley junctions. That's the idea, at least. We'll see when I'm done. I prefer to work away from the pillar. I'm not the only one who feels like that thing has eyes.
It's working. It won't go any higher. I wonder if I can charge it up somehow.
That was a lot easier than I expected. It is interesting that there does seem to be kind of a pattern of the heads of research having a kind of battle with their respective director. Since we have that for multiple generations now. After numerous attempts, I found a way to intercept and contain the ambient energy of the ley lines in a kind of non-Aristotelian battery I've dubbed the Power Core. I admit it was difficult capturing an energy I can barely measure, much less interact with. Luckily, it seems that the porous stone of the Foundation's caverns possesses such conductive qualities. Using stone flakes and copper wire, my Power Core collects significant power. My early prototypes collected too much, in fact, but I've since reinforced the container. We don't know yet the repercussions of tapping into this power field. As a precaution, these devices should not be taken outside the house. Ideally, the Bureau should no longer need to rely on typical energy sources. It's my greatest feat of engineering yet. I've always had an interest in invention. I like the creativity that it allowed, set within the firm boundaries of logic and physics. Father never approved, calling it the mundane science. With that in mind, I dedicate this invention to Theodore Ashe Sr. May he scowl in peace. Oh. Am I missing something? Are these not charged? Oh my god, they aren't charged. So given the fact that they're more capturing the ambient energy in the environment around us, I wonder if that there is some kind of, I guess it'd be a mechanical breakdown of the copper or black rock parts that is causing it to not be accessible. Which is kind of funny, like, when we think of, like, Grand Galactic Empire stuff, or anything like you have a society that kind of persists for a long time, like, it is weird to think that, like, things just always work in a lot of settings, and, like, you know, this building is less than, like, 70 years old, and you have a room from its foundation where you have things that are arcane in nature in regards to just pulling power from the ambient magic, but most of them were broken.
Entry day plus 51. Northmore has ordered an all-hands search for objects similar to the service weapon. He claims there are more in the house, though I don't see how he's so certain. He's been strange lately, talking about joining greater causes, and frequently mentioning the pyramid. After pressing him, he finally described this pyramid to me. Inverted, black, mathematically perfect. Oddly enough, Adam and the other id have shown me numerous inverted triangles painted on the cave walls. Surely there's a connection, but I don't see it yet. As far as occult symbols go, triangles are by no means rare. Flood, Levi, Kroll, they used that shape like it was going out of fashion. Standing on their base, triangles signify stability and strength. Inverted on their points, they represent conflict and stagnation. Of course, the orientation is just a matter of perspective. Looking at the pyramid from below gives you one, from above another. Northmore says he looks up at the inverted pyramid. I have to wonder, is anyone standing over it, looking down?
I really like Theodore. I'm sad that he's probably going to be dead in here. I think the first kind of note we found intimated that that is the case, given the fact that he stayed in here while the rest of his teams were pulled out. Though he may have just pulled a Darling and transcended to the next level of existence, since that seems to be a pretty big trope inside the Remedyverse. What's really interesting here is we have rock-based or just ritual circle-based control points, which is terrifying. Honestly, I'm curious what we're going to end up finding here, since I feel that there is a level of kind of, I don't want to say symmetry, because that's a bit too woo for what's going on, I think, but I'm going to assume there's some level of a theme here that we will have. Because the base game, we could argue, was kind of looking at the evolution of two people through different courses in life, because legally, I think... No, they're not twins. Dylan is the younger brother. I don't know. I guess if Control was establishing the mechanisms of how the...
Damn gun. Faith. Not sure she's ready.
I'm here, aren't I?
Wow.
I saved the Bureau once, and I'll do it again.
Let's see what our colleague has to say about this.
I've served under 2 directors. 3 now, I suppose. Trench and I worked our way up together. We made it through the tough cases, the bad days, the casualties. He was the epitome of a good agent. Smart, decisive, selfless. Then he picked up that damn gun. Becoming director is a formal process overseen by the board. Lots of ritual and mystery. After that, key staff provide detailed briefs on all classified matters, past and present. But with Faden, well, there's no protocol for field promotion. The girl's smart, has a good head on her shoulders. I'm trusting her to handle the hiss upstairs, while I hold them off here. All this shit with the nail, the board, I'm not sure she's ready. Besides, I work better alone.
I'm always curious by the trope, I work better alone. Complete the ritual in the warehouse. What am I missing here? Found a secret place. Is that going to be him slowly turning into power goo? Frank, I've reviewed your report of my latest medical. I was disappointed to see that you believe my connection to the service weapon and the board are products of delusion brought on by the stress of leadership. You witnessed my feats firsthand. You declared my body temperature impossible. These are no delusions. They are the product of divine collaboration. The board has awoken in me a power beyond your understanding, and that power will only continue to grow. Your job is to merely ensure I survive my gift, and with absolute discretion. To that end, my gifts are best used with a degree of mystery that your needles and probes betray. No further medicals shall be required. I forbid you to speak of this matter with your colleagues, especially Dr. Ash. Under no circumstances do I want him involved. Keep your mouth shut and keep me alive. The board knows what I have become, and theirs is the only opinion that counts. Sincerely, Director Broderick Northmore. Well, that's not disconcerting at all. But, like, kind of what I was trying to blabber on about is, like, it's one trope that I've always found fascinating, and, like, I both do and don't understand kind of the psychic reasoning for, is the idea of, what do you call it? Lone wolf type characters, and like what kind of brings that about? Because like I would argue a lone wolf character is different from a character that's bad
ID
at
card.
asking for help.
For a cartographer.
Meteor Hill summary. AWE3 1958. Per Archival Mandate 8A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards. Certain terminology may be out of date. This paradimensional occurrence consisted of 3 sequential sinkholes induced by subterranean implosions, revealing foreign material of magmatic qualities. A local chapter of the Youth Science League were participating in an archaeological dig on the hill when the event occurred. Many boys were injured in the resulting collapse. Some touched the magma directly. Bureau agents arrived at the scene 7 days after the incident. Samples of the lava-like material were taken. The area was quickly sealed off from the public at our recommendation. Our aim was to ensure all remnants of the material were rendered inoffensive, but the magma descended too deeply into the earth to retrieve. Foul-smelling odors were detected in the area, which were hypothesized being the dissipated element vapor trail left at the scene. All acquired material was delivered to Washington for examination in the Bureau's on-site laboratories. Question is it DC or what? Columbia? Alright, let us see if there are any more mysterious doors we can take a look at. I don't know, like, is it kind of a archetype that is born out of a fear of failure? Basically, they say it because they don't want people to get hurt in case something goes wrong, where they know they're the only ones that something would happen to if in a suboptimal event were to occur. Or is it kind of like a level of arrogance where it's just like, I know that I will be fine and I don't want anyone else messing up my groove, so I'm going to do this and it'll be fine. Which is, like, a way to do it. I don't think that is where Marshall's coming from, though. She was very confident, but I don't think she was dickish. Which is kind of why I'm a little confused here. And what ritual am I supposed to be doing here? Complete the ritual in the warehouse. We can head back to Emily again and see if there is anything I'm missing by not looking at the ID badges we found. But I am afeared here.
Hi, Jesse. Well, I've got a bureau to run. See you soon.
Yes, ma'am, Director Faden.
Please, Emily. Not even as a joke.
Hello, Avenue. I hope you're having a lovely day. It did say that we should give the things to Emily, didn't it?
Bring me back anything good?
Well, I've got a bureau to run. See you soon.
Yes, ma'am, Director Faden.
Is there like
Please,
another
Emily.
thing in the room
Not
that I
even
need
as
to
a
look
joke.
at? We can't talk to Whiteboard Lady. There's nothing I could stick on here. Talking to Miss Pope does not give us anything.
So the director, whose brother is Hiss, just happens to find the secret Hiss entrance and close it. How convenient.
Do I need to kick you in your cooch, lady? Though I will say I do appreciate her position given the fact that, like, the Bureau is a very conspiratorial organization, just due to the nature of it, and you probably should be suspicious of the director who magically have managed to get in and survived everything. Actually, I want to turn down that. Managed to magically survive everything that's thrown at her, and then refuses to let everybody out? Truly, what type of evil lass are we seeing in charge of us? Though I know I shouldn't be just wandering around the executive department right now, but I feel a bit perplexed at what we should be doing now, given the fact that we have
That's no normal piece of paper.
less stuff going on here. And I have a worrying feeling that... yeah...
I need to find other pages.
Oh, that's one of the runaways. Greetings, Director Trench. I'd like to thank you for approving my request for the Dead Letters Archive. Cataloging the Bureau's collection of delinquent mail will prove an extremely handy database that research teams can use to search for any connections or related topics found among the letters. Aside from the more functional purposes, the archive allows us to preserve these windows into authentic human encounters with the paranatural world. These letters came to us from various places and times, gathered by the Postal Service as undeliverable. The Bureau is a perfect home for them, and I realize not all letters contain accounts of genuine paranatural events, but even those erroneous ones allow us insight into how the unknown is perceived by real people. I will first compile a system to allow us to analyze the letters, for any information or suspected connection to altered world events and other altered materials. So thank you again. Can't wait to delve into my dead letters. Is it like a prerequisite to be like a little weird to work at the Bureau? Because like, think about the hiring process. If you are working, if you are just told like, hey, do you want to work for the Government Department of Paranatural Activities? Like, how does that interview go? Also, I thought we had too few Threshold kids. Why that tone? And yeah, New York is a dangerous place. All the murders are being used as blood fuel in order to fuel the oldest house. Yeah, no. The Threshold kids, I'm assuming at this point, were created for Dylan. Fake planes. New York Times Tribune. Airplanes aren't real. I figured out how they do it. The windows are TV screens. The whole thing moves on big tracks like a roller coaster that moves through underground tunnels in the earth. Airports are like train stations. They do this because the skies are full of monsters that they don't want us to know about. The planes we see in the sky are the monsters. The government made the earth trains look like the monsters so they could lie to us better. Don't contact me. I do like the unhinged people we're finding in these. Is this a darling we haven't seen yet? No, we've seen this one.
Just look at it. 8 inches wide and capable of storing a whopping...
How would you want them to go to waste? I mean... You've cornered me, Wick. I feel that would be wrong to have that happen, but... You know, it would be nice if the Bureau had, like, a paranatural ability to, you know, determine when a murder would happen and, you know, prevent it. I feel that would be a moral imperative, though, then we just get into the kind of issues of pre-crime and, you know, you haven't committed a crime yet, and... What do you mean I'm being arrested for murder? I haven't murdered anybody yet. Yeah, am I setting up Minority Report? Yeah, you saw exactly where I was going with this, or where I was afraid we were going to go with this. I really need to read the book. I've only seen the movie, but I have enjoyed the movie. Very, very Philip K. Dick. Tomasi Willow AWE outcome. National news sites have begun publishing the story of a polar bear attack on the Alaskan town. You all know I don't like to boast, but claiming that the family was killed by migrating polar bears desperate for food because their ecosystem being ruined by global warming was a stroke of genius. Using current ecologist concerns makes the public much less likely to investigate the matter more deeply. So another AWE behind us, and the public is none the wiser. Well done, everybody. It was a strong campaign and perfectly executed. This doesn't mean we can stop monitoring the redacted and redacted for any off-message opinions, but it looks like we're in the clear. I've heard nothing but positive things about Philip K. Dick, other than that, well, excluding the fact that he was a bit of a nutter. But you know what? When in Nutteristan, do as the nutters do. Right? Okay, mailroom. I have a couple of Philip K. Dick books in my reading backlog, I believe, but I don't recall. He did do Android Dream of Electric Sheep, which is the inspiration for... What is it the inspiration for? Wait, what part of the Panopticon did we not see? Blade Runner. Which isn't Blade Runner about fighting vampires? Or are the vampires androids? That's just Blade? Why did Hollywood name things so weird?
All this paranatural power contained in one place is a risk. Makes me wonder what other dangers are locked away.
And while I do agree with our good friend Jesse, the Blade Runner timeline is very convoluted, so they are in the same universe then. I don't know why I'm offended by that idea, because, like, what is it? Minority Report, no, not Minority Report, we need to transition to Asimov. The Foundation series is in the same universe as, Detective Android. Well, actually, I guess he's not originally Detective Android. He's, initially Mr. Man. He also did We Can Remember It For You Wholesale, which became Total Recall. That sounds about right. And I'm not gonna be driven insane by such paltry things. We've already gone down that road. Is there anything here I can kind of bump off of? My sanity is perfectly happy as well, thank you very much. I mean, given that we're our brother's keeper, we'll use the fact that our brother's in space jail and this... Oh, it's world limit. It's actually really sad. I don't know what is here. It's actually making me sad. Oh, this area actually wasn't accessible? Cram supplement. Interview redacted, conducted with a French translator. Translated from French.
To a specific date. As if I could ever forget. It was called Do a Fire at the Rue.
What did you see?
Smoke. Wet like a new perp rising up from the windows of a small shop. I sent in my man. I was fire chief back then.
What happened next?
We pulled out the chaponnier. He was already dead. Smoke in his lungs. We found the source afterwards. A baby walker poured water onto it, but they only encouraged the smoke. We pulled the carriage out. Smoke kept shooting out. A crowd gathered. People said it was a miracle, but I disagreed. It seemed to me more like an omen. We brought the strange thing back to the fire hall. Some Americans like yourself came later and took it away.
Alright. The only regrettable thing there is, it's gone. The Blade Runner timeline. So, like, is it kind of like a Warhammer thing where there's like a Dark Age of Science shifted more into a Romanian accent by the end? Listen, I don't know. I've never heard a Romanian speak. I can only do a little bit of French. Bonjour, mon nom, bonjour. Mon nom est... Well, now I'm just turning it into a bit of German as well. Ooh. Wait, weren't we in the archives previously? But it was horribly infected with goo? There's a lot of the Bureau I didn't explore, I'm coming to realize. This may not be the final stream. For more reasons than just I'm not doing the side quests. Or the main quest bit here. But honestly, like, it's a really weird thing to think about the kind of conversion of a dialect into another language. Because, you know, like, in English, it's all because of, like, different, like, oh, Jesus Christ. Cultural shenanigans or stuff like that, or whatever the hell the scientists have figured out causes difference in dialects. For example, if I wish to speak with a southern affectation in my voice here, I would speak a bit like this. And I do declare myself to be a resident of Georgia, as I do believe this is a Georgian accent. Well, now, partner, I believe is more like the Texan accent. But, like, then you just start going into, like, the weird things of, like, the accent I was attempting there was a French accent. Oh, okay, I actually have to survive this properly. A French accent in a... for Frenchmen speaking English, which is really just odd. And that was also very cruel of the game. For example, like, one of my favorite memes from anime is, like, a hard... rephrase. Someone with a very thick American accent speaking Japanese. So, for example, like, normally if I were to pretend I was beginning to speak Japanese, I would say, Boku wa Arexu desu. Actually, no, it'd be Boku wa Arexu desu. Nihongo ga hanashimasen, I think would be the correct way to say that. And this is true. The nation of France does not have English as a language that is allowed. You are sent into the Seine River, if you attempt to speak it. You just need to have ChatGPT communicate with any non-Frenchman that perusing your lands. Oh, but the other bit of the joke I was trying to go to is like if I were like in the meme like thing where it's like an American speaking, it'd be like Boku wa areksu desu Nihongo ga hanashimasen, or something like that. Oh fuck.
Let's watch Talkies in space! It's not safe! But Star Captain Eagle! Can I poke it with a stick? Okay. Bureau rule number 74. Always be suspicious of things that weren't there before. What?
Oh god, my headset died.
Looks safe to me. Donkeys in space!
Donkeys in space!
Wait! It's not even plugged in!
So if I recall correctly, the Benikoff TV was a mind control device? When bound, harness this effect. Oh! No, that was just the Benikoff TV, and it just lets you levitate, which is how we can fly. Honestly, part of the interesting thing about this game is, like, determining how the logic train of there's enough psychic juice put into something so you can fly, I guess, or it can fly. I don't know why people think TVs can fly. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't pieced that one together, Chief. Though, I do need to ask quick, when you say bad American accents, are you listening to it in Nipponese, or are you listening to it in English? Nipponese? So do they speak in, like, English for parts of the show? Because I've not watched Steins Gate Zero. Like, when they're in America... Is there just scenes... Oh my god. They're talking... So it's a dude with a Japanese accent speaking English. That's actually really funny. I shan't be attempting a Japanese accent for the purposes of this episode, but we all know what it is, or you can find out fairly easily. Or at least I know what Northmore looks like now, which I'm happy about. One of our boys.
The exact process of how an altered item is born eludes us. We find them after
Actually, you know what? The hell with this.
The exact process of how an altered item is born eludes us. We find them in the aftermath of altered world events. They take the form of everyday objects, ever present in our lives, constantly evoked in the thoughts of millions of people, now infused with unpredictable energies. They're altered. The superstitious would call them cursed. Now, are altered items sentient? Not quite. They're often fixated, programmed almost to cause certain events to happen over and over again. While generally less potent than objects of power, they are not able to be controlled. Left unchecked, they can be highly dangerous. To study altered items, we contain them in Panopticon.
He's wearing a little sweater vest.
Altered world events. They take the form of
I really hope Darling comes back in Control 2. Or, yeah, it is Control 2. Because, like, I will riot if they take away our boy from us. Oh god. I think I may have decided that discretion may be better the better part of value for the purposes of today's exercises. We've acquired what we need. But yeah, like I'm trying to figure what I want to get at here. But, like, the idea of... Oh, there's a smoking pram. Yeah, I think kind of what I am thinking about is just, like, how different speech patterns evolve. Which, I'm really sad I'm having this conversation in Control and not in Hideo Kojima's masterpiece, Death Stranding, or whatever the hell his latest game is called. Which is Death Stranding, but not the game that I should be talking about right here. Alright. So, Warehouse Tunnel is where I think I need to be, which presumably is where the ritual is. We have... control point available to us. And no idea exactly what we need to do. That's the warehouse. Presumably we need to actually get up there. Which tells me I am missing something in the other room, which probably allows us to get higher. Though, I will say administratively, I've been thinking about what other segments I'd like to bring back if I am able to have the energy and candor to stream more frequently again. And something I was kind of thinking about is the Totally Not Stolen Challenge stream segment would be a fun thing to kind of, like, potentially do again. Strudel put in one a while ago that I've been eyeing for Operation Dragon Fighter Super Showdown, or whatever the hell it is. One of them Arma games. Oh, it is that I'm just blind. I'd be curious to do some submissions from that, in theory. Though... we've talked about the idea of doing creative-oriented streams, whether it is the art of Wellington figuring out how to do accents again. Which I'm happy to say I think I am getting a bit better about. Especially in the form of, like... the Alex Jones one we did last night was quite good. What? Why are the Hiss fighting each other? Oh, that's not Hiss. That's part of the astral plane stuff. What are you? Ammo refund. I think when I eventually do properly move out, I really do want to do a charge, grip, charge, shatter. To do the cooking streams. Because, like, I always remember how much I enjoy the art and science of crafting a McDouble or what have you, and like I think doing some and basically trying things out might be a fun thing to do. Though I don't know what we make. Alright, Panopticon, that's fine. Foundation etchings. My explorations of the Foundation have resulted in yet another mystery, a fascinating series of etchings on large stone tablets. The tablets themselves are likely not native to the Foundation, seeing as they're slabs of sedimentary stone quite different from the cave's categorization, defying rock. Their placement and form are also too intentional to be naturally occurring. But who braved this place to carry them in, and for what purpose? I discovered a 5-pointed macro entanglement between the tablets with the pillar at its center. These links seem to extend beyond our level of consciousness to some astral realm I can't detect. Is Northmore's board somehow tied to all this? The etchings on these tablets are similarly curious. They differ from the cave paintings in style and technique, so are clearly not of the same origin. Are they visual narration of some event? Could they indicate intent, a wish, a plan? They only seem to consist of a tree, a pillar, but sizes of either are consistent. What does that signify? I'm missing key pieces of that puzzle, and it's unlikely I'll ever find them. I mean, that kind of seems like a transition through time, if I'm going to be entirely honest here. Yeah, I'm aware of that. Question is, how do I get in there? That works. Your happy power core here.
Another etching, like the one I used to get in here.
So we'll probably fight in here at some point. And that's a pit of death. And by some point, I mean now. Alrighty. So...
Is this the lock/key the board told me about?
Well done, seasoned. Only 3 keys tethers remain. Our nail is rebuilding, loosening.
My job.
Alrighty, so... I lost my thought, and now I've properly remembered it.
First one down. Dr. Faden's got this covered.
And that worries me because it looks like it was sealed away. In theory, we should be safe here. That was correct. Alright, so... what I am trying to blather on about is, like... I think kind of the motif that is going on here a bit is the idea of things changing or going through time. And the reason for that is the red sand, because one of the most significant kind of aspects that was described in the ordinary AWE kind of documentation is the red sand that Darling threatened the lives, not livelihood, lives of the people if it was destroyed. What came out of the Slidescape 36, which kind of makes me suspect that there is a continuity going on. And, like, I don't know if this is, like, regular science goofiness that is being looked at here, or if it is an element of sort of the... why do I always forget his name? Oh! Emily is here now. Okay.
Jesse, hey! Emily, how did she get down here?
Young.
What are you doing down here, Emily?
Carl Young.
What do you mean? You called me down, remember? I'm pretty sure I didn't. No, that's right. You didn't. But then, I remember you needing me to come here. I mean, you even told me how to get in. Let's just chalk it up to synchronicity so we can get to work. She takes everything in stride. The board called me down here to deal with the situation. The astral plane is colliding with our world. I know, isn't it fascinating? I never even considered that the astral plane could be a physical volume expanding beyond its dimensional container. The bleed is localized to this area, but its growth rate seems steady. Given time, it will consume the entire Bureau, and possibly beyond. That's what I'm here to stop. The board told me to fix the nail over there by dismantling 4 locks in the astral plane. Funny, I think it's put itself back together a bit. So that could be due to the law of inverse exchange. For every associated component you remove, this nail reconstructs. Or possibly some variation of anti-sympathy. Don't worry, I'll look into it. Did you notice all the Bureau infrastructure? It looks like there was a research team stationed down here at some point. Do you think Darling knew about this? I put money on it. That reminds me, have you seen Marshall? She contacted me over the hotline, but then I saw her walking around. I haven't seen her. The hotline only connects to extraplanar entities. Or dead people. But Marshall's proved time and time again that she's a survivor. That's exactly what I thought. Anyway, I've been looking into the minerals growing down here. Have you noticed how they insist on maintaining a certain form? Maybe some sort of a state memory, or they consciously prefer a certain shape? I think we're on a clock here, Emily. I need to stop the astral bleeding before it brings the oldest house down. See what you can find out from the nail in the meantime. And send out some rangers to look for Marshall. She may be in trouble. Will do, Jesse. If you see anything interesting, remember to take detailed notes.
Wait.
Jesse, you're back.
I think that's how Quantum Break leads into this, where... Wait a second. Time is technically another way we can dimensionalize reality, right? I don't remember my modern physics very well, but I feel that is a partially correct statement. And ergo, maybe we'll see some more time travel or time-related shenanigans in the next game? i.e. Control 2? That feels right but incomplete, and I don't know how to articulate it any further from there.
So did you find anything noteworthy? The original Bureau expedition down here left so much interesting stuff behind. Like their ID cards. I picked up a weird one. It's pretty old. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, I found a few ID cards myself. Or, more accurately, the Rangers found them for me. Are you starting a collection? I'm going for the whole set. I kid, of course. But I suppose they are sort of like baseball cards, except for Bureau stuff from the 60s. Hey, the one you found is different than mine. It looks like it's a higher clearance level. A rare one, then. Want to keep it, Emily? Yeah, I absolutely do. But I think you should hang on to it for now. High clearance access might come in handy. Sounds like you have something in mind. Guilty. See, I've been going through Dr. Ash's notes, or the ones I can find anyway. Like Darling, he seemed to enjoy hiding his most relevant research. From what I gather, there is another floor beneath the warehouse with a special lab that requires 5 high-level staff members just to access. Here, take this. It's an old skeleton key. Something else the Rangers found. I give them $5 for every useful trinket they bring me. I'm gonna assume this key is my ticket to that lower floor. And that super secret lab you mentioned. Bingo bango, as Dr. Darling used to say. Well, keep your eyes peeled for more ID cards around the warehouse. If Ash's notes are reliable, and I'm sure they are, then 5 is the magic number.
We found 3. But that does kind of make me think, though, that there is, like, something else that's weird going on. 'Cause, like...
Hey, try not to launch me, Director. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
You have no idea how hard I had to suppress myself from sending that man into oblivion. Aw, fuck. The game gave me the idea that there's a recovery area, which means there's hidden things here, so I can't not look. Though, actually, I guess the time element does make more and more sense, where different realities might just be our own in different times. That might be the reason why I am ultimately both, like, proved wrong in, like, the argument I was trying to posit last stream, where in theory, on average, the knowledge of the world is something that, or the knowledge of the paranatural stuff or framework of it can be justifiably given to, like, people in order for them to figure out, because, like, you know, on average it should work out. But if the hiss is an example of what occurs when you let people use this power freely, and then you have, like, I don't know, everybody die? This is a really grim way to think about it. That would kind of explain why the hiss was so able to influence humans, but also influence other kind of paranatural things like altered items and the like, because, like, they're cut from the same cloth. this like disease transmission within species is a lot easier than disease transmission was between species. Which is cool. Which would mean that Polaris is kind of the remnants of the humanity, I guess. Which kind of then goes into the thing that they were talking about in the ending credits of the game, where, you know, Polaris was always inside you, and all you need is not her per se, but a catalyst. Or she acts as nothing other than a catalyst. Though, in the end, it's probably a bit of a Sisyphean task to determine the mechanisms of the psychic powers and potential without more data. Though I think that adds enough meat for my theory to be letting me convince myself of its veracity, which I'm happy about. Crossroads. Probably want shatter for this guy. Jesus. I will say, I am very excited for my vacation this upcoming week. I have been needing some prolonged time that I can define for myself. And I'm excited to do it. Though, I say this, I have no idea what I want to do yet in its entirety. All I know is that McDonald's is releasing the snack wrap, or re-releasing the snack wrap again, which I'm very jazzed about, given the fact that it's my favorite thing from their kind of menu offering. Okay, fine. And curious to see if it still holds up. So outside of that, I haven't defined any of my schedule at all. I know I want to stream a lot next week, or failing that, I will be nerd sniped into random video games with people.
This area looks newer. Is it from the upper floors?
I think I might get some pasties. It's been a while since I've had them, and I do thoroughly enjoy them. And the main barrier to that is me waking up early enough Which is still going to be a problem, given the fact that I despise anything that exists before 10 a.m. or my relative 10 a.m. Which in this case I think would be... Is that a duck? It's a luck thing! What is the cat doing there? I'm trying to think, like, what other activities I kind of want to delve into. Northmore container, Director Trench. Shift account, part 1. Whoever finds this, I'm Containment Processes designer John Gibbs. I'm writing this document to document the largest building shift to ever occur. Here are the facts. A considerably large section of the containment sector, including processes and protocols, offices, our research facilities, and a fair chunk of the firebreak, has been yanked down to a chasm that reaches far below lobby level, I think. It was a violent shift. I regret to report several casualties. Injuries were sustained by all, but many of us, myself included, are still mobile. We set up a base camp and started triaging. There are little supplies. We explored our surroundings and found caverns of all things. Maybe we're in some kind of cave threshold like the quarry? Wherever we are, we're not the first. There are some rusty power cores, old lights, signs, infrastructure. What was this area used for? Why did they seal it off? Why have we never heard of it? More importantly, how are we going to get out of here? I expect you to die, Mr. Bond. I don't want to summon agents to their death. Oh dear. Well, at least I'm still prescient. Alrighty, so I think I have focused long enough. Since this is what I'm expecting to be the final stream for Control, or at least much like Resident Evil, I will have deemed it complete enough that I'm happy to continue on to another game. I'm pretty sure we might come back and do some of the side stuff when interest takes me, much like we're going to regrettably go back to Resident Evil 7. And I happily can say we're going back to Resident Evil 8. Though, as always, the question is just when. Need to clear out all of our personal mods. Seize Accelerator. Energy gain from taking shield damage. That's actually really good. So I think the main things we'd want to find here would just be the rest of the Threshold kids and like any random documents. So it would probably be a short stream. Or one that was relatively simple in scope at the very least. And when I came in, that room was blocked, I believe. No, one of these rooms was blocked. Which one? Is it you? Yes, it was you. Yeah, you deserve jail for that one, Jesse. That was shameful. Computer program. Dear House of Representatives, my husband Francis read an article before he died about how the universe was really just a computer program. He believed it. I thought it sounded silly, but now I think he was right. Francis was hit by a car a few months ago. A drunk driver. I don't think it was supposed to happen. My neighbor's son Jeremy broke one of our windows with a football a week before Francis died. Francis yelled at Jeremy for it. He was a bit harsh. This is important because I see Jeremy on his computer through their living room window. He's on it all the time. His mother says he's a computer whiz. I think Jeremy's operating the computer program. He changed the universe so that driver would hit Francis. He did it to get back at Francis for yelling at him. Is there a way to change the computer and make Francis come back? I have some money if it's expensive. I don't know how these things work. I don't care if Jeremy gets in trouble or not. I just want Francis to come home. Francis and I were very happy together. I can feel him not being here, and I know it's not right. Stephanie Miller. Well, yeah, it's the sanest one so far, because it's probably some poor 80-year-old Nan whose husband died because of some fucking goblin. That's interesting. I don't know what to think about that. What is that? Oh no, there's something meant to go in there. Toilet? No, you're not a toilet. Toilet? Because I can't fit in... Right, you don't die from fall damage. Door? Toilet paper. I know I'm just grasping for straws, but like... maybe there's something in the other bathroom. So what would fit in a kind of golden hole in a bathroom stall? It could either be a waste receptacle, which is what my instincts... Alright. That was better than any other thing we've tried so far. I still can't do toilet, but we might be able to do... Okay, no, never mind. We can't do that either. Alright, I've given up. I guess I'll go back to my kind of, like, ranting regarding, like, There's a lot of stuff you can work with in this kind of environment, now that I think about it. Because, like, I think part of the thing that makes things in this a bit more difficult for me to grok is that the conspiracy theory aspect is not something I follow closely. Like, I know Coast to Coast AM is a big thing of that, where, like, a lot of, like, conspiratorial, like, things are talked about on the AM spectrum. Just as part of the going of things. Because, like, it's a show that, you know, one needs content for. I think it will just construct all the weapons. I think I'm going to go Shield, because Shield is the ability that I have underrated in my kind of playthrough of the game here, and I think that is my mistake. Especially given that ability that I just saw right there, which looks amazing. Basically creating a riot shield that you can just plow into enemies with. Ugh.
You're listening to America Overnight, a beacon in the darkest recesses of possibility for more than 29 years. We have another letter from a listener. This one's unsigned, but postmarked from Toledo. It says, "Dear America Overnight, I have the most wonderful appliance for your listeners. It is a miracle of God. A fondue set. A fountain. A blessed gift. Blessed is spelled with a capital B. Go on, they write. Dive on in. It is molten hot. Perfect for meat." No signature. As far as I know, no fondue set was sent to us here at the studio. Just this letter. Wait, I think there's something else in the envelope. Some kind of black powder with white shards in it? Bone, maybe? Karen. What is this? Karen? On the air, Karen. Where are you? What is this powder in the booth? Is this ash? Oh God. Karen? How do I cut the commercial?
Holy shit. So, we know... Okay, so I'm really happy we did the Alan Wake DLC first, because we actually know why that happens. The... Eve supplement. The Blessed is a group that is basically attempting to utilize paranatural implements and whatnot in order to be bad people, which is terrifying. And we know that America Overnight is a piece of not agitprop, but basically a capture device for the Bureau, so presumably the host is owned and paid for by the Bureau. So, just a little incident of unfortunate terrorism. Kiev, AWE 37. Recordings of the audio phenomena were uploaded onto the internet shortly after the event. These community records circulated rapidly on popular message boards. The communications department utilized this exposure by creating Sky Trumpet hoax videos and posting related theories to spread confusion and draw away from the event's paranatural origin. Industrial noise, particularly the sound of metal drilling, was found to be widely accepted explanation. Theories about the sounds emanating from the Earth itself, known as the seismic hum, emerged from the public itself and were encouraged by the Bureau to generate further misdirection, eventual public disinterest. Witnesses of the event were monitored discreetly afterwards. Observed symptoms were consistent with sleep deprivation, but subsided after 12 to 15 days. The length of the symptoms directly correlated to the individual's proximity unsheltered to the supposed epicenter. One linked, although accidental, cause casualty can be listed. Causality can be listed. See report regarding the effects of planar friction on hearing aids in file number. Alright, so reading that did kind of give me a thought, though, that there is sort of a weird thing going on with, like, all of the things that the Bureau does is basically it makes another conspiracy theory rather than conspiracy theory that's actually true. So is it that, and actually I think this might be correct given the fact that, like, there's very specific rules to how paranatural things occur, so it might be that there is a structure to the collective unconscious that needs to be applied in order for it to manifest as a altered world event, which is odd. Gibbs reporting in. It's been 8 days since the collapse and no sign of any rescue efforts. The Bureau is either completely unaware of our situation or incapable of helping us. Or maybe it's intentional. How many times have we seen the Bureau not give two shits about its own hired working staff when they go missing in this place? How many times did we let it slide thinking, oh, at least it wasn't me? Too many, I'm ashamed to admit. Anyway, there have been some developments. Strange crystals have begun growing through the walls, and they seem to block some corridors, but not others. The path to the caves is always left open, but we're not sure why. Luckily, the crystals keep out the astral spike. One's been hounding us for days. Jean, Nicolay, Sarah went to try and find a radio, but never came back. We think the spike got him. I think it's hunting us. Doug says spikes only exist in the astral plane, so what the fuck is it doing here? If we get out of here, I'm hiring a lawyer. These are unsuitable working conditions. Oh, now they have to die.
Warning. Altered item detected in Transport Bay. Access is prohibited per safety regulation 18.A.
Can't believe my own computer system is being used against me. Oh,
so
no.
That's the altered item. Looks pretty secure. No power. Typical.
So I don't think we heard anything about a camera yet, which worries me deeply.
I should hire someone who builds smaller machines.
God, Jesse's gonna have to figure out how to start hiring people. Alright, how do I do this? I see now. So, if the television allows you to fly... then what I'm wondering here is... does a camera... I don't even have a guess what a camera could do. Capture one's soul would be kind of like the meme stereotype, but I don't know what it would be outside of that.
No altered material detected in area. Personnel may now safely enter. Have a bureau full day.
Jail. What always makes me sad is, like, I can imagine, like, someone saying, have a bureau full day, and while I do appreciate it, because it is goofy, it is probably immediately followed by the idea of, we have fun here. Which is doubly amusing given all the people that have died. Oh, that is the wrong thing I wanna go into do with. But I'm kind of curious if there is another kind of weird thing going on. Working hard or hardly working, am I right? Hive mind afflicted colleagues? That's evil. I can imagine that in the Steve Buscemi voice as well, or Nucky Thompson. Probably is another concerning thought. Hey, hardly... Buscemi is a very hard guy to grasp. Hey, working hard or hardly working? Am I right? Hive mind afflicted colleagues? I know that wasn't him at all, but now I'm curious who the hell I thought I was implementing. Is that mold? New language. I've learned a brand new language. The fish taught me. You probably don't believe me, so I'll prove it. Hulibi mi duiti germulabates wemon ekopo kido kib kido pipo huram Iluin rec I buit 1455 Ospertron Klob. He knew 20222. Quiddy wee whip. William o Yumret bosom quim Quala 10 Jabini Rog. See, publish this letter and maybe other fish speakers will get in touch. They'll be able to read my address even if you can't. Jabini Rog. Alright, so we've had the least crazy mail in Dead Letters department, and I think we found the most crazy, which is exciting. Movie camera supplement. Should actually be at the top. Oh, altered items are down here. It's oops on top. Action Max camera. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after a hospitalized mailman from Wichita, Arkansas claimed his injuries had been caused by a movie camera. Further investigation connected the incident to AI-80, which was being shipped from mail truck at the time. The packaged camera was later found in an empty warehouse. The return address led agents to a P.O. box located in the San Fernando Valley belonging to a company called Blessed Pictures. Whether Blessed Pictures is involved in the creation and dissemination of the Addams VHS films is unknown. The following list is all the films that have been shot by AI-80. Shoot First, Die Last, unreleased. Coffee Bullet, Billy's First Car, By Card, Delivery Disaster. Item was used in the filming of an unreleased western in 1968 on the Italian island of Sardinia. Cast members killed during an on-set accident. Stopping productions believe the Blessed Pictures brought the camera when equipment from the shoot was sold at auction. Alright, so I kind of thought that this department kind of fell into oblivion like a while ago, but given this, oh god. This fell out of the Bureau the day the hiss broke out, didn't it? Because it's 2016 right now in universe. That's actually kind of terrifying. It's clear no one's coming. We're running out of ideas and supplies. We tried going into the caves to find anything edible, but all we found were noxious gases and endless pits. The crystals only let us go one way, even though we could see the caves branched out. We did find some weird spiky pillar, but I only got a glimpse of it before the astral spike attacked. There were a few of them this time. We lost a lot of people, and there's only 6 of us left. We didn't ask for this. We didn't want to come down here. I'm convinced something brought us down here. The others say I'm going nuts, but it's clear this was no house shift. Shifts slide a bathroom a sector over, rotate a hallway. They don't drop a full division into some caves. We were brought here. I know it. But for what? Why tear us away from our lives just to torture us? If this is some sort of test or mission, and here's some advice for whoever's running it. Give clearer instructions next time. Hope these notes are a good read for whatever ranger finds them. Fuck you. Put that in your report. Fuck you too, buddy. So either the board brought the people down here in order to kind of deal with the thing that was...
Worst I've ever seen is take the nail. End of the world.
So I can't let the hiss take the nail. Not a problem. I know how to handle them.
I mean, presumably there is probably a large-scale HRA we can make in order to contain this area. That would probably be a good idea if it's that important. Are we gonna have another boss battle here? Listen. So is that like the true form of Adi? Because there was like a Finnish accent I heard in the mumbling of the space monster. I think. Progress jolly good, but 2 holes, lollipops are left.
Hello? Board, are you there?
Danger, director, board broken. Deeper, understand? Tool, other, new, forbidden, board. Given former, yours necessary, go.
Okay, what the hell is going on? Wait, I'm back here?
You should, can, better not be here, director.
Wasn't my idea. Blame the eyeball.
The other tool weapon is forbidden. Former, it is adrift, trying to mislead you.
Yeah, we've had other things. But it is giving me something you won't.
Weird. That does kind of confirm my suspicion here. That we would get both. Though I thought it would be implemented in a different way where like you're being reckless disobedient.
What I can slash can't have.
Can't slash can't have. Can't believe we're talking about slash fix here in our beloved bureau. God, I realize now, but there might be a department of slash fix. Because, like, I remember that there are a couple of academic papers or, like, academicians that I've heard interviews from that are fanfic researchers, or they research, like, the kind of cultural phenomena that are behind fanfics and the individuals involved in it. You cannot control this, cannot control your staff, you're mismanaging the Bureau's self-narrative. Oh. Not very cash money board. But that does kind of beg the question why the board is so kind of perturbed about us having the second ability. And kind of the only thing I can kind of guess is that Northmore, they probably gave too much power to and they realized that that was a mistake. And they want to avoid creating another Northmore because power-hungry monster people are not good co-workers, both in the metaphor and actual sense.
I'm getting pretty tired of being jerked around the astral plane. If you're listening, I want some answers.
Are we talking to the former board? We fought one of you before.
Hi there. It was nice of you to give me something the board wouldn't. What are you getting out of it?
Void nothing egress.
So I'm just supposed to believe you're a particularly charitable, whatever you are?
Neither both hungry?
Hungry? I mean, yeah, actually, I'd love a sandwich or something. That's not what you meant, was it?
Right, Panini former board abalone?
Are you part of the board? Or used to be?
Once split board blame.
Okay, so you split because the board blamed you for...
Fish. Inside Beyond Nail Rescue House Sun warning.
Gotta be easier to play charades. Do I need to rescue someone? I don't know what I expected. Listen, this has been great, but I have to go. Thanks for your help, and, stay out of trouble.
House, listen, nail, leech, burn, go. Nail is a leech of a house? We need to blow up the nail?
Former trying to tell me about the board. Should I trust either of them?
Probably not. I'm gonna guess we're gonna be looping down. No, we're not. It's actually kind of disconcerting. Well, at least we have the power to do things now, which is good. We did find an astral spike, which is even better. Yeah, but no, we fought a worm dude previously. They were in, wait, there's something here, isn't there? Why did we have a Neko? Why was there guttural chanting immediately afterwards? Was that Gregorian chanting? Is it legally? Okay, maybe Emily knows why there's an echo here.
The Rangers found a section of the containment sector in the caves, but no house shifts occur down here. Strange. How did the Hiss get into the Foundation? Same way we did, I imagine. But you need to remember that the Hiss are the embodiment of persistence. Their nature seems to be one of force, to find every possible vulnerability and exploit it. Their only goal is consumption. I'm sure there's plenty of goodies for them down here. The nail, for instance. If the Hiss could corrupt the nail, I'm sure they would have by now. It must not interest them in its broken state. They could be distracted by the numerous unknown paranatural materials I'm sure are lying around. These are the roots of the oldest house. The Hiss will find plenty of ways to make trouble. They're pretty good at that. So you've never heard of the Foundation, huh? I've never even seen the name referenced. Clearly it's highly classified, but for what reason? The problem with these kinds of closed-off hidden areas is that they were likely sealed for good reason. But now, no one is left to tell us what that reason was. Any guesses why the Bureau would hide something like this? I only know what I've observed. This place is spatially rigid, which means it doesn't shift like the rest of the oldest house. And before you ask why that is, I have to admit that I'm clueless. There's some signal interfering with my equipment, making it hard to get a clear reading. It's being emitted from the floor. Maybe I should have brought a jackhammer. The astral plane is already taking chunks out of this place, Emily. Let's not add to it.
It's sand, Emily.
So let me get this straight. The astral plane is bleeding into the Foundation. Correct. And that's happening because the nail is damaged. I'd say it's a bit more than damaged, but yes, that is my understanding.
And how did it get
What's the
damaged?
connection between the nail and the astral plane? It's a good question. See, I always pictured objects of power as strings between our plane and the astral. If the nail has a similar relationship, then maybe it's more accurate to think of it like plumbing. Now that the nail is busted, sewage is gushing everywhere.
Not the prettiest metaphor.
I should get back out there. Agreed. The astral bleed won't stop itself. All the tests I've run on the nail keep coming back as nonsense. A couple of my instruments have already broken.
Maybe we should take that as a sign to back it in?
I can take you for a heater.
Oh, it's this thing.
Who should I be listening to? Entity A or B?
I mean,
let's just stay the course. Danger. You know we need to repair the nail. The astral plane won't break reality on my watch.
both of them probably have reasonable-ish reasons for what's going on.
This bleed is just getting worse and worse.
At least they gave me my thing. Of course, given that it's the astral plane, I shouldn't be surprised.
That's the cave sand. Looks like the astral bleed goes both ways.
Oh! The game also finally tells us what we put in the hole. So that means in order to access the toilet, we have to find a block made of gold. And then bring it in to deliver us in our time of need. I mean, I guess there are worse rituals that have been done to go to the restroom before. I mean, imagine all the difficulties one has when at Disney.
Is in the astral plane. That didn't go so well last time.
Actually, it does kind of make sense why the board is actively kind of fighting us here in this segment of the game if, you know, we are not following orders. And they're very grumpy with us. Which makes sense, because when you're dealing with interdimensional beings, you're probably pretty used to getting their way and get... I want to say fluffed, because that has a very different connotation. Upset? Probably upset's better. Neki Neko! Containment. None. A ceramic beckoning cat figurine, common luck object found in Japanese storefronts. The following is a list of items observed after effects. Non-corporality, affinity for specific human behavior, and minor physical movement, waving its arm. Multiple simultaneous incarnations of this item have been observed. Whether these are independent altered items acting uniformly or replicated instances of AI-48 is unknown. How the item originally arrived at the oldest house is unknown. First discovered sitting in the director's chair and was immediately contained in a panopticon cell. The next day, an agent noticed 2 additional figurines had appeared, however, all 3 vanished. The items had been sighted throughout the Bureau, appearing while agents perform regular tasks, it is theorized that fulfilling certain unknown criteria will encourage the items to appear. Present location is unknown. Well, I mean, to be entirely honest, we know the location of 2 now. Because there is the one that is... in the research sector. That we found in the Luck Labs. So... Nope! What I'm wondering now is, like... Oh, no. What I'm wondering now is, like, what's the best way to... I don't want to say comprehend, because that's not kind of the thought I'm wanting to go for here, but, there's some weird stuff going on. And I don't know why random cat entities are involved in it. As much as I do love my Neko and my Maneki Neko, I don't think there are good things afoot involving them.
Reminder, the Bureau does not have windows. If you notice a window, immediately close your eyes and make your way to the nearest safe room. You are permitted to fashion a blindfold from an article of clothing. Any resulting lapse in dress code will be excused. Thank you for your attention.
I'm so happy I obsessively did this. Huh? Oh, screw you, game. I spent all this time putting it together and then it just betrays me like this. Oh, that's absolute codswallop. Whatever the hell the 1920s people said. Go with old-fashioned horseshit here. Nope. What is worrying is these guys seem to be working together at least a little bit now. That's unfortunate. Hey, it's back. At the very least. So... what I'm kind of worried about is I hope I didn't make a actual choice when I did not intend to be making one. And I guess the main thing I'm worried about is I don't want to be locked out of any random, like, superfluous content. You know, outside of the random superfluous content that I chose to be locked out of. So speaking of which, I think we'll let our friends over there fight. I do need to check for any documentation over here. As the director, I have to make sure everything is organized and filed in a reasonable kind of manner. I will say that block was massive. And that is good to know. I was not certain if I had gone crazy or not, but there is a very distinct difference between cleansing and claiming control points, because we cleansed the first one in this area, but we just claimed the most recent one. We finally have information on these guys. Histral... This research... Non-research, astral research. Astral copy. While the astral plane, now physically accessible, a torrent of new information has been collected on the entities known as astral copies. Dense stone-like materials are resilient under controlled circumstances and brittle when struck with significant force. Where astral copies possess individual consciousness or are directed by a higher intelligence, such as the board, however, their shared aggression seems to indicate a unified goal. Director Faden's encounters with these entities when binding objects of power in the astral plane indicate they serve as live targets for potential paratotalitarians to practice on. Some have been equipped with Bureau weaponry, though it seems unlikely they were armed by our personnel. It is important they note to appear immune to his corruption. Mimics are physically indistinguishable from copies, but more dangerous due to the fact they possess paranatural abilities. Right. One thing I do want to look at here is this agent barrier charged cluster. I'm looking for the angel. Distorted. Yeah, the distorted are the ones that make me the most sad. Green. That feels like a dead letters. Indeed it is. I don't know if you can see this because I don't know if I'm really here. I see a pen in my hand, but I see myself. It's all wrong. It's wrong. Angle. The wrong and me is all green. Look out for the color green. Everything turns green when it's close. Don't let it get close. Don't let it in. But if you do not matter what you don't speak to it, please, I need you safe, Peggy. I don't want you to end up here, too. I don't know where I've gone. Actually kind of terrifying. Just being trapped in a green astral plane space. And that's the point we gotta cleanse. That's a hell of a lot of damage. Hello, Baron and friends. How are y'all doing today? Were you slaying some spires beforehand? For those of you just joining, we are playing the wonderful game of Control and investigating its roots, both metaphorically and actually. As we attempt to figure out why in the world our fair building is on fire. Nice. Did storm fighting go well today? Hell yeah. No. They wouldn't make sense to be in Alan Wake 2, Goka. Why are there sock puppets? What is going on? Wait, is that like Threshold Kids Season 3 when they changed the intro? But we do have the Alan Wake equivalent. It's when you see those random video things of Night Springs and stuff. Like, that was obviously the outro? I guess you're right. But it could be one of those things where you have the delayed intro. Like, how do we know that the Japanese aren't responsible for Threshold Kids, right? Which would make sense, given, how goofy certain things are when it comes to being translated. All I'm hearing is that you're uncultured swine that doesn't stay for the outro music. I do stay for the outro music. Sometimes. If it's good outro music, I will. But no, I'm thinking quite literally of ReZero, where there is like that one segment where you have the outro playing along with the intro. No, where'd my ball go? Oh no, I am curious to see what other Threshold Kids episodes we're going to make our way into reality here, because they're all terrifying. And every single time they're brought up, I will further claim and understand that the reason why Jesse Faden is as messed up as he is due to the fact that there's effectively, like, he's being fed child agitprop by people who are, well, not very good at creating, like, material for child. It's like, I just want to imagine, like, the Department of Energy, like, children's show. Don't get me wrong, there's, like, good documentary and stuff that you can have from, various federal agencies, but, like, something that's aimed at children? Because you're raising a child? For some reason? That's just not going to go well. Like, what are you going to have? Atomic Man! On his quest in order to bring atoms for peace to the world. In today's episode, Atomic Man fights Lamp Lantern, the representative of gas. Atoms for Roman peace. Was it Fiat Justia Ruat Column? Some real nonsense going on. No! Now that I think about it. I'm just imagining, like, a show being made. It would probably be a very bad show, but leaders from history are... I need to cough. Alrighty. I have recovered from my coughing fever. But... No, not... maybe Clone High, but specifically what I was going for... Like... I want to see, like, a... Hell's Kitchen? Not Hell's Kitchen. What's the other one that he does? Kitchen Nightmares. Where basically, like, the premise of the show was, like, leaders from the world, from history, specifically, are kind of cast about and forced to, like, make cuisine for, like, the rest of their life. And basically, like, what is each world leader going to do? What does Alexander the Great make? Mao Zedong? What does Mao make? What is, I don't know, who's someone who's, random yet inoffensive? Charles V of Austria. What does he make? Do we have true Austrian schnitzel? Only time may tell. You know, I didn't expect this. Wait, there is a document over here, if I recall. Yes. America Overnight Fatality. An item resembling a fondue set was sent to America Overnights, aka FBC Initiative 72A offsite studio, accompanied by a threatening letter and cremated human remains. Longtime show producer Karen Harris was killed when she put her hand into the item. Mr. Frabanzo, the program's host, was able to contain the item by redacting it. The fondue set is undergoing evaluation at the FBI satellite facility in Redacted. The package was tracked to P.O. Blocks belonging to the Blessed Pictures Company. The same company was involved in the discovery of AI-80. According to post office records, Blessed's P.O. Box was opened in 1968 and paid through December 2029. Employees cannot recall anyone ever collecting mail from the P.O. Box. Case 13HQ612 has been reopened. Attempts to locate the physical address or staff of Blessed is ongoing. Should be noted that debriefing Mr. Fabrizi was revealed he was in a romantic relationship with Miss Harris. He has since been placed on mandatory leave of absence for violating Bureau guidelines. Good job, Bureau. Good job. Though, I am wondering where the 2 remaining ID badges are now. Though, if I were to make a wager, they're probably in, Nope. Alright, how do I do this? Got full-on anti-aircraft fire type energy going on here, and I'm barely making it out alive. Oh. Fine. Everything is fine. Things are not fine. Alrighty, so... what went wrong there is I got overwhelmed by the enemies that were present. I need to get better at dealing with them. When it comes to, like, the... crowd control elements here, especially when it comes to this guy right here. I think something that has been helping me a bit, earlier at least, was the whole idea of the... astral mimics and astral clones basically taking a bit of the damage for me, and I don't know why that went so much better.
There's the edging.
I think I got the floating guys more quickly, but I thought there was like another round or two, so the game might have done thing. Our recent confrontation yelling was an error. We determined you may have both tools upgrades. Only because you are the favorite current director. Okay, but do not listen, speak to former. You are welcome, grateful. Okay, Mr. Board. What really is baffling me here is the whole kind of concept of what is causing the astral spike to be... I don't want to say maladapted because I feel that's the wrong terminology here. No, that damaged it. Means we probably need to break it everywhere. But I imagine only something of like a very high paranatural ability or power would be able to actually do real damage to elements of the oldest house, the Bureau especially, given the fact that, like,
They sure changed their tune all of a sudden.
there's great power in interdimensional beings.
This whole board former thing. They can sort out their own business so long as it doesn't get in my way. Obsessing over these problems is something Trench would do, but I've got my intuition.
I thought that would have allowed the voice lines to continue, but that was my mistake. Alrighty, so I guess the last place we need to go is the Cave Bleed, then. So, next stream will probably be because I'm beginning to doubt that we're going to get this done in the next 40 minutes here. The next stream will be the end of Control and the beginning of Alan Wake 2, most likely. Actually, how the hell do we get up there? There is a way if I go through the cave system. Nope, that is not my problem. It'll be very excited for us to engage in our shenanigans when it comes to the end of the Remedyverse. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, but all things must come to an end, albeit temporary they may be. For the next long play, though, is there any games that folks are interested in seeing more than others? Because I want to start thinking about the games list now, and all I really have on the docket is more... You want to go straight in the cage? Oh... That would make me very sad. To be greeted by my nemesis, David Cage. Ugh. Though that is legally a potential option. I was thinking more like, you know, kicking a child across the room in Clock Tower 2. Regrettably, Goka, I have all of them to do, because the VODs for the old ones were lost. By lost, I mean I never recorded, I never bothered to keep them. And given the fact that we're in New Welly, New Me, or New Year, New Welly, in terms of like retaining content, rather than letting it be gripped by oblivion, we have a lot of ground to cover. That growl says it all. I was channeling my inner Sideshow Bob there. Well, legally I don't have to play them, and legally I don't have to play anything, but I want more VODed content. By which I mean, I like the idea of a repository of, like, things that occur. Just to see it done for the sake of it being done. That's why one day I'll get together and upload the... Oh god, how many hours of content do I have for this? A lot. To the internet. But we want to go to the cave system. So that way is locked. I'll look into my repository. I remember one of my backlog bonanzas was very U-coded. I still need to do your dictator. I haven't forgotten. I asked Baz, but since you're here and Lizard is here, it's been years? Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not gonna get done. So, when are you available, Lizard? Or when is Goka and when is Lizard available? No need to remind every decade. Also, these fuckos are getting a lot more powerful. I really don't like it. Only free on weekends for a while. Gotta go to the Denver demolition site for the next 3 weeks. Alright. Weekends are indeed legally a time. So I need to get to there from research site Gamma, actually. Okay. So then what I'll likely need to do is do a stream that probably begins with the Lizards, Neo, then goes into Baz, and then goes into Goka on like a Sunday. One of these days I'll figure it out. Alright, so going this way. I think the reason why we couldn't access it earlier is that the cavern quite literally was blocked. With the super special spooky rock that we have at our disposal. Alright, so... and indeed I was correct. We really need to watch Marshall's other video.
Marshall blew up the nail. What the hell was she thinking?
That does kind of explain what happened to the nail, given the fact that the hiss don't seem to be powerful enough to do anything like that, so it was end of the world.
I snuck into the Foundation through a back door, I know. Had to get ahead of the hiss. Just a matter of bypassing the ritual protections. Luckily, the board's as distracted as the rest of the Bureau. I had to put on a brave face up there, but the situation is the worst I've ever seen. We're getting back on our feet, but we've already lost so much. Trench is dead. Darling is somewhere. I'm the only one left. I still have a job to do. Keep the hiss back. There's not enough HRAs to spare, so I'll have to make do with what I've got. Frankly, I don't even know what will happen if the hiss take the nail. Trench made it sound like it'd be the end of the world. He was never one to exaggerate. Well, orders are orders, even if they come from a dead man. The hiss got in. The Foundation is overrun. I was out of time and out of options. I took all the C4 I could get my hands on and strapped it to the nail. Boom. A desperate move, but it's better off in pieces than in enemy hands. Trench wouldn't be thrilled. He always said how vital the nail was, how it was the Bureau's duty to protect it. Bullshit. Those years spent in the director's chair warped his priorities. In the end, he valued order over people, the advice of invisible voices over that of old friends. He lost sight of who he was. The board made sure of that. But I did my duty. The hiss can't corrupt a pile of smoking rubble. My last act as head of operations. I'm done. At least I could take those bastards down with me.
This kind of lean into the hypothesis that she's dead. Maybe she ascended, or maybe she became the former. Nobody knows. You know what? You seem like you would be useful on my side. She was the only one that was alive. Tomasi was head of security. He was turned into the hiss. Trench was the head of heads, and he was hiss prime, as we learned. Oh, dear. Darling, I think, has ascended much in the way we have observed people in other Remedy games ascend to a higher plane. Think of Mr. Hatch or Mr. Door, as he is later known. Mr. Hatch from that one video game that my brain refuses to interpolate for some reason. And Harlan Door from Quantum Break is where Mr. Hatch is from. The head of operations. Or something like that. And Mr. Door from Alan Wake 2, who we'll eventually see. Alright, so that is a regular cube, not a super cube. And I guess the deep caverns are where we go now. Unless we want to go up there. We can have the height for. What are you? Darling ascended. Tomasi is dead. No, actually, Langston is alive. He's just weird. Because I suppose if we think about it, Langston is legally a department head. And that just takes us down. And I guess Marshall turned herself into a spookum in order to defeat the Hiss. I would say worse ways to go, but oof. I think turning yourself into an astral being sounds very unpleasant. Though I suppose there are worse arcs. I mean, what is it, Nina Tucker? Got turned into a half dog, half human hybrid. That's pretty, goddamn bad. And then there's, there has to be other things. We turned into a worm. Yeah, you could be turned into the funniest thing ever. Be turned into a pickle. And then berate everybody around you about it for some reason. Oh, no. I am quite happy that Rick and Morty Season 8 has been good. There's been enough disappointing television on that, like, when you have something that, maybe not, like, 10 out of 10, but, like, I think it's as good as I feel Season 6 was. Fuck. Just need to hold on long enough. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to be a pill here. It's subjective, unfortunately. Though I suppose talking about the of things is probably on brand for a Remedy game. I think that there are some elements that are fun, some elements that are not fun. And the reason why I say subjective is, like, in my heart of hearts, I can recommend a full watch through of The Simpsons, maybe skipping, like, a couple of, like, seasons, like maybe season 14 through 16 or something like that. Because if you end up liking the early stuff, the quality of the show remains the same-ish after it starts falling apart and eventually climbs back. Rick and Morty is, like, not a show that I think is good to rewatch. Where I think if I were to rewatch The Simpsons, I'd be perfectly happy doing so. Which, for me, is a weird thing to kind of classify it by those grounds. And
alright, this is the last one. I can't believe Marshall's brilliant plan was to blow up the nail. And she thought I wasn't ready.
no, I think that might have been the correct move, my guy. But to go on my... oh, goddamn it. To go on about my rambling regarding Rick and Morty, I think that if you want a sci-fi comedy that is okay at times, sometimes less than okay, it's worth a watch. I would say that the So I will say, a lot of seasons are just bad. Not a lot. Like, the initial ones are okay. The later ones just kind of get eh. What am I missing here? You do regrow. So previously, things break apart because there are tendrils in them. So I'm wondering now if we need to have some element of the tendril kind of inside the cube? Or sphere? Because there doesn't seem anything hidden over here. What am I missing here for this puzzle? Because I will have to just look up the answer in a minute here, because I do want to go to bed. I think I will just do that. I'm not seeing this. Or I'm not seeing a pattern that's bugging me. Okay, so deep cavern. Deep cavern control. Nail puzzle. Not. No, there it is. We're doing game journalist Wellington. Okay. So I was doing it correctly, but I might not have been doing it quickly enough. Am I able to change my loadout while in the astral plane? The answer to that is no. By loadout, I mean gun. Okay, loadout. Please let me change my gun. Oh, I can. Alright, we'll let everything regrow, and then we'll give it our shot. So... different things regrow at different rates. That's what I was missing. So the
Easy as pie. Fuck. But that's the last one. I fixed it, didn't I?
nail, leave, end. The nail's leaving, causing the end of the world? Oh. I was looking the wrong way, I just didn't have the right piece of thing. Yeah, that's the astral plane just collapsing. I guess this DLC may be you just can't trust the board without any sort of, guile?
What the hell was all that? Things should be better now, not worse. Emily will know. I hope.
Emily's dead. Got a hotline about the pyramid. Yeah, that was a hotline, wasn't it? Maybe that was just a regular thing then? Alright, just through this door should be the way to the crossroads, which should have the nail. I don't know why the nail looks like a little fancy bow tie.
Director Faden?
Agent? Multi-legged creature being surrounded by a bunch of things. Gives off a ritualistic impression of things. And I already knew that's how to get to the warehouse.
Jesse, we need to... What did you do? What is causing these tremors?
I thought you could tell me. I completed the 4 rituals just like the board told me to. The astral bleed should have stopped.
Look, it has stopped. The nail is repaired. But we have a new problem. My analysis of the nail indicates that it is literally a piece of the astral plane. Or possibly a vessel containing the astral plane. Or both. Either way, right now both dimensions are vibrating at completely incompatible frequencies. The spatial friction they are generating is incalculable. It's going to destroy both planes.
I messed this all up. Maybe Marshall was right to destroy the nail. I should have left it in pieces.
No, then the astral plane would still be leaking in. Sometimes there's no right answer, Jesse. We need more information.
No. I need to fix this now. I'll figure something out.
No, we should really make
Very reassuring director.
Originating from directly below us, but we don't know what.
Perfect. I'll head down and take care of whatever's going on. Just do what you can from here.
Jesse, you can't just...
I have to, Emily. I'm the director. This is on me.
Yes, ma'am, you're the director, which means you can't just die.
Director?
Oh, hell no.
I hope I know what I'm doing. That was just the top of the nail? How much deeper does the foundation go?
Entry day plus 118. I have changed, though it's hard to know how or why. I no longer need tools to detect the house's veins, to hear it breathe. I can feel its blood churning beneath my bare feet. I have added my own illustrations to the walls, trying to solve some mystery that the oldest house whispers to me. I have to avoid the it as I do so. They haunt me. I don't blame them. They're just following the Pillar's orders. Even poor Adam doesn't seem to recognize me anymore. I've spent a long time contemplating the etchings of the tree and its roots. Did you know this city used to be a forest? I wonder if our oldest house wore a different face back then. Or if it was always here. A 21st century office building since time immemorial. In a place you know the future. Can it change its skin? Can it wander? I always thought the esoteric world was my father's, not mine. But here, in this sacred place, I finally understand his devotion and his awe.
Interesting. It's probably the board trying to stop us, if I would imagine.
They're growing crazy here. It's almost like they're trying to stop me.
Or maybe not the board. Maybe there's something else that's...
HRA was damaged. The board said it.
When Marshall blew up the nail, the board attacked her. I don't fucking like it.
Oh no, don't tell me the final boss is going to be the hissified version of... I
tried to get out after the detonation, but the astral spike came out of nowhere. I escaped, but my HRA was damaged. I'd bet a year's salary the board said it. We never did see eye to eye. They have too much control over Trench, the Bureau, the House. They make themselves part of every important process. Nothing a little C4 can't fix. 2 birds, 1 bomb. Christ, what a mess. But I stopped the hiss. I did it. If Faden did her part, then the Bureau is safe. Until the next thing. Jessie has good reason to hate the Bureau. But that could be what we need right now. She won't follow the same path. Won't fall into the same traps. She'll lead her way. So, Director Faden, here's my last lesson. You can't save everybody.
Oh, don't make this a dumb choice thing. I'll leave a very sour taste in my mouth if that's the last thing we get out of Control. Oh god. Well, I did guess that we were going to fight a hissified version of our good friend here.
Nobody else hears the house. Their ears are too full of lies. We were shown the way inside so we could help. But all we've done is fall victim to the same parasite. I should have seen the web earlier. The strands between Northmore, the Pillar, the gun, the id. What hope did we have? Thrown into this conflict beyond our comprehension. I've decided to rejoin the Bureau in the upper levels, to end my long absence spent in the Foundation. Northmore will be angry at me for disobeying him. That's just his way. But I don't care. I need to remain in the oldest house to help however I can. I doubt I can steer the Bureau back on the right course, but I have to try. How did I go so long without a purpose? Without devotion? I can hardly remember how it felt. I realize how grateful I am to Father for setting me on this path. I wish I could tell him that.
But he did. Alright, Marshall. Yep, there she is. Hey, buddy.
Marshall? You're alive.
Soon you will no longer recognize us, or yourself, or him, or her, or them. Family is dead. The walls are broken, but yellow and red in the eye.
God damn it.
Inverted is made right. Leave your
Fuckers take everything. I am not letting you take this.
You've always been the new you. You want this to be true.
I don't want to fight Marshall. I actually liked her, even if she was a bit of a dick. Yeah, I definitely see this being a prequel boss to our good friend, Hartman. Alrighty, so I really hope I'm not going to shame myself this time and have to do the battle 50 billion times. Especially given how that would be kind of an anticlimactic end for this whole affair, I feel. Given the whole kind of thing here with, Assistance, Champion, Endure. Oh! The former is Ash! That's who it is. How to explain why he's oh god. Unrecognizable. Because I definitely need to look at the quest log for the kind of tentacle monster we previously fought, because that is a accurate sort of description of what we fought previously. Just the idea of fighting tentacle monsters is just kind of like a little untoward. I love my good friend Japan, but there are many things that are a little bit off kilter. Otherwise known as Hanky. I will say that's been one of the fun things of watching, not The Good Place, but NCIS, is like just seeing some of like the goofy terminology that came up. Like hinky is the word. I was using it yesterday at the office, and I got teased. Everybody thought I said kinky at first, which is understandable, but... You know, sometimes things are a little hinky. Not, that breaks my heart. I was slow on the dodge. I'm beginning with Season 1. I'm in Season 2 now, and... I think it's just a good detective show, technically, at its core.
The nail is corrupted. That explains why the board wasn't answering what's causing the quakes. Marshall came down here to stop this. I should have been with her. I could have saved her. But I can still save everyone else.
Okay, at least it wasn't a goofy choice thing then. It was her basically telling us, I'm already dead. You're cleansed, hallelujah, for the being okay. We hope you'll improve your attitude, loyalty.
Well, fuck you too.
Oh, I'll be sure to.
Let's play it smart. They don't need to know I'm onto them. Not yet, anyway.
Lol. Yeah, honestly, the part of the show that I'm currently on, they're in the process of Ducky and that new ME that they have are in the process of piecing together a series of bodies that are just about... Hi, friend.
The nail is secure. The hiss can't touch it. I can't undo the astral bleeding in the Foundation, but at least it's stopped.
Along with the seismic activity. You did it, Jesse. Did you ever find Marshall?
I did. She's gone. She died thinking she'd save the Bureau. Not a bad way to go. I wasn't ready for this crisis. I didn't even see it coming. But I promise I'll be ready for the next one. I mean, what good is a director who can't hold her bureau together?
The year is 2097. Jesse Faden is the director of the Bureau of Investigation, the director of the Federal Bureau of Control, during the plot of Phantom Liberty.
I thought I'd know how to handle things, now that I'm the director. Clearly, it's not that simple. I need to choose a direction for the Bureau. It should be one that serves our goals, not the board's. Whatever those are. I need to lead my way.
Is this a cutscene, or can I move? The answer is I can move. Alright, it's 8 a.m., so I was able to complete my objective right on time. We'll talk to Emily.
Now that this nail business is handled, I should probably be getting back to executive. But maybe I'll keep poking around. Just for a little bit.
Has the nail been doing anything since we restored it?
Define anything.
Anything unusual?
Define unusual.
Emily,
Sorry, but the answer is a whopping yes. Now that it's whole, the nail is emitting a constant field of, well, think of it like low-level radiation. It seems to suppress any biological matter it encounters. This explains why nothing grows here and why the Bureau had to abandon the area. Prolonged exposure would certainly begin affecting neural processes.
Wait. Was the field created when I cleansed the nail?
I considered that, but the nail's readings are quite different from the ones I recorded at the cleanse control points. I think the nail's field is purely of its own making. In fact, I think it would passively prevent any Hiss corruption, like the HRAs do. Which makes me wonder what actually occurred when you cleansed the nail.
I've been wondering about that myself.
Did the board let the Hiss corrupt the nail? Did they want me to cleanse it? If so, why?
What do you know about Director Northmore?
Well, he was Director Trench's predecessor, and Northmore's famous for being the first board-appointed director. See, before we found the oldest house, directors were picked by committees of old men in suits, drinking cognac and smoking cigars or whatever. You know, standard, uninteresting methods.
I think the word you're looking for is bureaucratic.
Or antiquated. Regardless, Northmore was eventually forced to... Well, we don't need to go into that. Strangely, the only two board-appointed directors left the position under unusual circumstances. If the board appoints a director, then how do they retire them? I doubt they go out and buy you a gold watch. Sorry, Jesse, I didn't mean to imply that...
Don't worry. If anyone's getting shown the door, it's them. What do you know about an entity named Former?
I can't say I've heard of it. You got any details for me?
Well, imagine a one-eyed bug thing. I think it was a part of the board, but then something happened and now it's... separate?
Interesting. See, I always wondered if the board was some sort of entity or a group or conglomerate of linked consciousnesses, but this supports the group theory. Although it could have undergone some sort of corporeal exile. Too many unknowns to form a working hypothesis yet, but I can prioritize this matter in future astral dives if you think it's important.
Fortune favors the prepared. Do it.
Alright.
I'm gonna keep looking around.
I wish I could go with you, but I still need 30 hours of training before I can do field work.
We'll work on that.
Don't want the head of research to get nuked. Anything else we want to do? Links on runaways, self-reflection, his command, blah, blah, blah. Clear the clog. Boom. Find a copy machine, mold removal. I don't think there's anything else I want us to do here in the wide, wonderful world here. So, we will call this the final regular stream of Control. Let's see who is going on. Looks like Ninjin may be the only one who's currently streaming. And the answer to that is yes. Alrighty. So next time on Welliestan, we will be doing Alan Wake 2, probably. I'll have to download that. But until next time, I hope everybody has a wonderful morning, noon, or night.